I'm sharing my 2-week meal plan consisting of 42 meals that I am making for my family during this 2-week time frame. I'm sharing exactly what those meals are and exactly how much I spent. Spoiler, it was under $300 for 42 meals. I think that's pretty good. It's for 3 people, so my family consists of me, my husband, and my daughter, who is a toddler. So she doesn't eat very much, but she does waste a lot of food. So there's that. But yeah, here are the meals I made and how much I spent. So we've got our Aldi receipt here for $252.32. And then I spent about $40 at Walmart. However, part of that was stuff for my daughter's birthday party, and that has its own budget. So deducting that, I spent about $275 for these 42 meals. And then this super messy list is my meal plan. So what I do is I make a meal plan on a random piece of paper. This just got torn out of a journal, and I write out the 14 meals I'm going to make during that 2-week time frame, and then I flip it over and I make my grocery list. Then when I am at the store, having a lot of trouble speaking today, we're gonna blame it on the allergies and the sinus problems. So also apologies if my audio is terrible and I sound terrible. It's the allergies. Anywho, so this super messy side is the grocery items I need to purchase. And then if I forget specifics about something, I think I actually bought the wrong kind of pepper jack. I needed shredded pepper jack and I bought sliced because I didn't flip it over and check what I needed. I thought I knew what I was buying, and I bought it for sandwiches, which I also needed, but I forgot to buy shredded pepper jack for fajitas. So we will just substitute cheddar cheese. That is something I always have on hand, so that's okay. And that was one of the meals. So now let me share the specific meals we are putting on this meal plan. So I shopped this last Thursday and today is Wednesday, so we have already gone through several of these meals. And I'll give you a couple of tips about how I do a 2-week meal plan without things going bad in a second. So we have already made baked feta pasta, teriyaki chicken tacos, which I actually ended up doing as a bowl. Changed my mind while I was at the store. We are making bell pepper fajitas today. I had made baked potatoes last night. And then we had popcorn, shrimp, and salad on Sunday as an easy, I'm feeling tired at the end of the week and I want to take it off. I bought frozen popcorn chicken for that. So baked feta pasta was the first meal I made from this meal plan because the baby tomatoes go bad quickly. So that is how I meal plan for 2 weeks, is I prioritize cooking those recipes with the freshest, quickest to spoil ingredients first. So baked feta pasta, the usual way calls for fresh basil also. I actually started doing pesto in it instead, and oh my goodness, it's even better. So if you haven't tried the viral, from TikTok, it went viral I think 3-4 years ago now. It's so good. If you do a quick Google search, baked feta pasta, you literally put a square of feta in the middle of a baking dish, pour the baby tomatoes around it, season it all up, throw it in the oven. Another addition we make is whole cloves of garlic thrown in there, and then you mash those up when you mash up the tomatoes. I know chef's kiss is overused, but chef's kiss. So that one is delicious. The teriyaki chicken tacos that I ended up making as bowls last night, that is a unique way. So one of my other tips for making cheap dinners without getting tired of them and eating cheap food over and over. Actually, this is my next video topic, is how to eat the same cheap foods over and over without losing your mind. I gotta come up with maybe a better title than that, maybe. But finding new ways to eat the cheap food is good. So teriyaki chicken, I always have the ingredients. I buy a big thing of soy sauce and brown sugar and things like that. I can make teriyaki sauce a lot of different ways. I will do ground beef. I will do a normal stir fry with chicken and broccoli and all that. And then these tacos. So it's teriyaki chicken, and then it's called creamy sesame cucumbers, which may sound weird. If you're not that adventurous of an eater, you might be like, cucumbers and a cream sauce on tacos and teriyaki chicken. It's delicious. I would suggest giving it a try. I will throw up on the screen the website the recipe I use is from. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I will throw it up there. But yeah, so finding a new way to use basic, cheap ingredients is one of my other tips. And then yeah, we made baked potatoes last night because, again, one of my other money saving tips is always shop your kitchen first. So a couple of weeks ago, we stocked up on some bacon that was on super sale at Aldi. And so last meal plan we had BLTs. This meal plan we had baked potatoes with bacon. And again, that was fresh ingredients, so we used that up first already. And then the popcorn shrimp we had on Sunday had a bag salad with it, so we had to use that up quickly also. And then the bell pepper fajitas we are having today obviously have bell peppers, which are a fresh ingredient that could potentially spoil pretty quickly. So the rest of the meal plan, we are going to have Alfredo tortellini, which also, the tortellini is something that was on super sale a few weeks ago at Aldi also. I'll take a screenshot and put a picture, probably on this side actually, a picture of the tortellini that we love. Actually, is it ravioli? Whatever, that we love at Aldi that is kind of pricey. We usually, it's like a every once in a while splurge. It's mushroom, actually I think it is ravioli, mushroom ravioli. It is so good, and I make a homemade Alfredo with it, so that makes it a little bit cheaper to home make the Alfredo. But it was on super sale a couple weeks ago at Aldi too, and I was like, okay, perfect. We stocked up on that as well, so we have that on this meal plan. Salisbury meatballs with noodles and roasted asparagus. So that is frozen asparagus that I'm going to roast in the oven, so nothing to spoil there. The Alfredo is, or the ravioli is frozen also, so nothing there to spoil. Honey sriracha chicken. My chicken is already cubed, so that saves me time also. And then and that's frozen. And then we're gonna have that with roasted frozen broccoli. We're gonna have lemon pepper chicken, frozen green beans, orange beef, also with frozen broccoli. I'll try to put those two meals with broccoli on the side a few days apart. Salmon sushi bowls. I do have to go buy more avocado. We ate up the avocado faster than expected. So that meal, the sushi bowls, would have been like something I've already made or about to make because of the avocados. And avocados are one of those things that you have to like plan your life around, right? Like, is the avocado ready to use? No. Okay, it's ready today. We have to use it, right? Like, so ours were not ready, and then they needed to be eaten, and I was cooking something else, and then we used it for guacamole for these fajitas instead. So I got to pick up a few more of those when I buy the food for my daughter's birthday party tomorrow. So salmon sushi bowls and then shrimp tacos are also on my meal plan. That's the last thing on the meal plan. And that does have a fresh ingredient. Coleslaw mix is what I put on top of the shrimp tacos. However, I have found that's actually pretty sturdy and it lasts for a little while. I do put cilantro on it also, and I just make sure I store my cilantro properly to make sure it lasts longer. But we will have shrimp tacos Friday. So using that up pretty quickly also before we shift into the week of frozen veggies. So usually that's how it is because I do 2-week meal planning, and I'll talk in a second about why I always try to do 2-week meal planning. But typically week 1 is the fresh ingredients, the fresh veggies, the fresh sides. Sometimes if I'm buying bell pepper, I will slice it up and freeze it so that I can shift whatever meal I'm using bell pepper in to the second week, add a little bit more variety. But honestly, there's so many frozen veggies at the store, or you can throw in veggies that last longer. Like the baked potatoes probably would have lasted longer, but I needed a simple meal that my husband could make last night for dinner as I was getting home later. But yeah, potatoes probably could have been shifted to next week. Things like carrots usually last quite a while. A head of broccoli, if you do fresh broccoli, if you store it properly, it'll last a while. But things like mushrooms, fresh herbs, peppers, zucchini, cucumber, things like that, things with high water content, they usually spoil first. So if you were going to do a 2-week meal plan, you just need to prioritize using those things up first before they spoil. So now, why do I make a point of 2-week meal planning? I don't have to go to the grocery store every week. Like, that is really nice. I don't have to do big grocery shopping every week. Because even if you are only shopping for a 1-week meal plan, like I have done that sometimes, and I spend the same amount of time at the grocery store as for a 2-week meal plan. Like I'm there for like 45 minutes to an hour for a 2-week meal plan and a 1-week meal plan. So might as well shop for 2 weeks. And then if there is something like avocados or milk or something for my daughter that I do need to buy in the in-between week, it takes 10 minutes. So, but also reducing the amount of trips to the grocery store helps you save money. We all know every time you go in the store, you're like, oh, that looks good. Do we need that? I forgot, let me grab that. And your cart ends up full of a few things that weren't originally on your list, and you end up overspending. So that is the main reason I do 2-week meal planning. It saves me time and money. So I said there were 42 meals on this meal plan, right? So more than just dinners. I was shopping for breakfast and lunch and snacks as well. And yes, I still kept it under $300. Again, we shop our kitchen first, and I meal plan based on what I already own. So I didn't buy the bacon, I didn't buy the ravioli, other things, I don't even remember what, but several things we already had in the kitchen and I didn't need to buy them. And then I also make sure if I'm buying something for one recipe and I don't use up all of it, I will try to plan another recipe to use that up. So I'm buying one thing and using it multiple times. So I'm using up what I'm already spending my money on in two different ways. I'll link to a video here that goes into more detail about that kind of method that I use, but that is the main way I can spend under $300 on 42 meals. But what are the other meals and breakfast, lunch, snack things that I was shopping for? So on my list, we needed sourdough, that is for sandwiches, peanut butter toast, cheese toast for my daughter, grilled cheese basically, cottage cheese. Kiddo eats a lot of cottage cheese. I got sweet potato and turkey sausage for breakfast bowls and that are really good. So maple syrup for that also. Eggs, coffee, very important. And then we have smoothies. Pretty much every morning we have a green smoothie. And then I actually didn't need that much for snacks and things. We had a lot of stuff already. I made some homemade blueberry muffins that my daughter devoured like literally almost in a day. I made a dozen and I think she had 5 in one day. They were gone the next day, so I'm gonna need to make some more of those real quick. We already had a bunch of things like crackers and stuff she snacks on. And then my husband, when he comes to the store with me, he'll just grab a few other things for lunch and stuff. I usually have leftovers. I keep a few things on hand to like bump up lunches if we need something extra. But yeah, we got sandwiches. We have some canned soup. We do naan pizzas a lot. Like the naan from Aldi is really good. If you get the garlic naan, especially, it's really good. I did grab some more pizza sauce with that and then mozzarella cheese, and that's an easy lunch you can throw together. My daughter eats that very easy cooked pizza. So that is a really easy one to have for that as well. But also, when we have a really hearty breakfast, like the sweet potato bowls I was talking about with sweet potato and egg and turkey sausage, we don't need a huge lunch. Like that fills you up pretty well. So that also makes lunches a little bit cheaper because you're just paying for more breakfast basically. But you get what I'm saying? So we don't have a ton of lunch stuff on this meal plan. But yeah, that was our 2-week meal plan for under $300. So let me look. So we bought how many items? 88. There we go. We bought 88 items from Aldi. And I'd have to look it up on my phone that I'm recording on, but I think I only bought like 8 to 10 more items at Walmart. I got the turkey sausage there. I don't remember what else. The baked potatoes because I didn't want to buy the russet potatoes because I didn't want to buy the big container at Aldi. The bell peppers were from there. Yeah, so, you know, we're going to say like 95 items. So we'll round it up, 100 items for under $300. It's really good, actually. I only bought one thing of chicken. So I bought a package of chicken, turkey sausage, and then some hot dogs for my husband's backup lunch, some brats. And that was all the meat we bought. So that definitely makes it cheaper as well. I'm going to have a video coming up about my favorite meatless meals. That is a big way we save money, is by having quite a few meatless meals. And with the way grocery prices are trending, we're going to be having a lot more of those too. So, so yeah, if you found this helpful, let me know if I should continue sharing my real 2-week meal plans. I've been meaning to do this for a while, and I kept thinking like, will people care? Do they want to know what I really am eating? But then I had a video, I'll link it here. I had a video where I shared what I cooked in a week, take off, so I guess people care. So if you would like to see my real meal plans and future videos, definitely leave me a comment and let me know you liked this one. And yeah, be sure to go check out my other videos all about ways to save money on groceries without like eating beans and rice every night or going crazy eating the same things over and over again. And like I said, I will have more videos about that also, so be sure to turn on notifications. And then in the description, I will link some free and some paid things, some resources that I offer, guiding you through easy meal planning, easily coming up with dinner ideas for your family, and saving money at the grocery store. Yes, even in spring of 2025.